Hey, this is Sasha, and today I want to share with you some insights about a microphone that I use within my business, whether that's recording videos such as these or doing even some video courses and video training. So if you're looking for more professional sound rather than the ones that you get off of your own standard microphone, then take a look at this microphone. So the microphone that I'm talking about is the Countryman B3 Omnidirectional Lavalier microphone with the 3-pin XLR connector. You can see here on the B&H website right now it's right around $180. Now take a look at how small this microphone is compared to a few matches. It's very tiny in a very small space, so you can really hide it. If you're looking to hide this microphone like in your hair, under your lapel, under your tie, it's very, very good for discrete audio and capturing very crisp audio in a discrete form. Now right now the microphone that I'm actually using is not the Countryman. It is actually the Sennheiser G3 microphone. And that is simply just so I can share with you what's in the package of the Countryman microphone. But for the moment, you're hearing the audio of the G3 microphone, and I'll share with you some actual samples of the Countryman B3 microphone here in just a second. So if we take a look at the Countryman, the packaging that it comes in or the size, you can see it's roughly about the size of a Benjamin Franklin. So here, looking at this packaging, it kind of has this mesh casing, and then right around the back, you can see some lining right here. And of course, there's a little zipper here on the side to open up this pouch. So as you open up this pouch right here, and you get inside into the microphone area, you can see there's a few little compartments here, and then also the microphone will be on this side. Now, normally that microphone is going to be strapped into these elastics. And then you have your wiring right here that'll circle around. Now, here's how this microphone really works and how tiny it is. You can take a look and see that it's actually very, very small, so it makes it very discreet. But this end cap right here is changeable, and that's what all these little plastic baggies are for. So you have different types of caps on there. You have a crisp cap, you have a flat responsive cap, which is normally the one that it comes with, but I did change it right now. And you have a very crisp cap, which is the one that's actually on it. And then you also get these clamps or clasps that you can use to attach to your shirt, lapel, or even to your tie if you're wearing a tie, and a little muffler. Now, the one thing about these little clasps is that they are plastic. They're not metal like the G3 microphones that come with their little clasps, but they still work just fine. So, and they're fairly cheap to replace. Now, I haven't used the microphone with this little muffler piece right here. I think it works just fine without it, and I'm in more of a controlled environment. So for me, it's not really necessary. But overall, the package that you get is very good, and for probably about a third of the price of the G3s, this microphone is very fantastic. They are, of course, for different purposes. If you look at the G3 microphone, it's going to be built a little bit more solid, and that is simply because you're paying about $650 to $750 for that microphone. Now, granted, you do have wireless capabilities, but you also have to change the batteries from time to time. Now, I do have quite a bit of microphones, for example, such as the Heil PR40, which is more of a podcasting microphone. I've also got this Blue Yeti, which is also another fairly good microphone. And now I have this Countryman B3 microphone. Now, this microphone does have a little clamp right here, or a clasp, that you could use to clip to a belt or somewhere else on your pants. This also comes apart right here, so if you unscrew this, you can see how this kind of helps secure the microphone there to the XLR input right there, which will typically go into your interface or mixer. So if you're trying to plug this into a computer, you will need an interface simply because of that output. And it also helps you fix the sound as you start talking, speaking, and the volume levels and the gains. So you will need some kind of interface. Now, the interface that I use is this Scarlett Solo. This is the 2nd generation. It's a pretty simple and basic interface. If you want to get the direct link for this, just check the description below and I'll put a link to all of these products right there, which you can go ahead and take a look at. But this interface really works really well. You could adjust the gains here with the knob right there, and you just plug in your XLR input right there, which actually I'm using at the moment. But this is exactly what it looks like, and it's very, very simple. If you need multiple speakers, there's a more advanced version with multiple inputs that you could go ahead and use. So you might be wondering then, what is the biggest advantage behind this Countryman versus, let's say, a Heil PR40 or maybe even a Blue Yeti or a G3 microphone? Well, the closest resemblance I would say is to this Countryman is probably the G3 wireless microphones. They are probably the closest. It's right here under my shirt and you can't really see it. Now the problem with that is that they are wireless, so you have to keep changing batteries, and sometimes you get interference, especially when you have a room filled with a lot of equipment. Now if you're in a controlled environment, it might be just fine, but in general you have to change batteries. They are also a little more expensive. Now with this microphone, it is a lot cheaper, still very conspicuous, especially if you're shooting videos such as this one compared to, let's say, a PR40. Now I still can use this Heil PR40 for shooting videos like this, but it would be in the video or shot. Of course, I could do a little tricky camera photography to move this out of the way, but then you start getting into a little bit more distortion because this mic is made to be up close and just made to really speak right into that front end. So of course you could do that, but it's not really what this mic is designed for. So ideally, the Countryman B3 would be a little bit better in that situation. So you might be wondering, how does this microphone compare to some of the other microphones that I've tested or that I have? And I have to tell you that it comes out really, really well. Again, the closest one I would say is probably the G3 microphone, and that is simply because they're in the same kind of class. But as far as the crispness goes, I think the G3 beats it just a little bit, but granted it's 3 times the price and it's also wireless. This, however, still comes in really, really well. I'd say 95%, very close, but it is wired. So there is some differences there. And of course, it's a lot cheaper of a microphone. But you can still get very great sound and audio from this one. If I compare it to my Heil PR40 or even the Blue Yeti, I think this microphone will beat them in terms of a video setting. Now, if you're doing podcasting related microphones, or you're just recording video up close like this with a microphone, then by all means, this microphone is right there on that same level. But in general, if you're looking for something a little more discreet, B3 definitely a major winner here. So what I'd like to do now is give you a little comparison between the Sennheiser G3 microphone and also the Countryman B3 microphone. Just read a little chapter or a little segment for you from my book, Business Launchpad. So here you go. In order for us to evolve and go further, we have to go past our comfort zone. If we go outside of our boundaries and do things that are difficult for us, then we can make magic happen, because it is at the edge of our comfort zone and beyond our limitations where we transform. That's where magic happens. It is we who put limitations on ourselves. You need to lift yourself up and go for what you want. If you want to swim underwater, then swim. Just remember to hold your breath. So there you go. I hope you get some insight regarding the Countryman B3 microphone. Now, a few other cool little things about this Countryman microphone is it is made out of the Kevlar material. So right now, actually, you're hearing that microphone, and this whole little line is reinforced with Kevlar. The other great thing about this microphone is that because it's so small, you can also get it in multiple colors. So you have this different tan colors that you could get it in. So if you're looking to disguise it within skin tones or anything like that, or even a white tone, you can definitely get it in these colors. They are a little more special order and a little bit more expensive, but you could definitely get it in those different colors. So for example, if you get a little bit more of beige or tan or even white, they do have those options for you as well. So thanks for joining me in this video. If you enjoyed the Countryman, you enjoyed the review, you want to check out the microphone, you can click one of the links below in the description. You can go ahead and purchase the microphone. Like I said, I typically use this microphone more for where a source is available for audio and when I don't need wireless capabilities. So it's really good filming at the desk, really crisp sound, and you don't have a very bulky situation as you do with some of the other Blue Yetis or Heil PR40 microphones. Those are great for podcasting and some other things, but if you're shooting video, the Countryman is really great because it's really small, very tiny, and can be very discreet in those video situations. Thanks again, and if you want to see some other videos like this one or some other business training videos that could help your business out and allow your business to grow, then take a look at some of my other training videos right over here, or subscribe to my channel or get on my newsletter right around this area. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.